line him up through the top of St Ninians, and away we go. Now down Bray Hill, on cold tyres, the bike tends to shake about a bit, as it's doing there. And then over the top and down towards Quarter Bridge. Early on the brakes. There are no prizes for falling off at Quarter Bridge. And there's certainly been no races won by scratching around Quarter Bridge, but there's been a few lost. The main part about the start of any lap, certainly at the start of a race or even at the start of a practice, is getting settled down and not doing anything too silly. Right, Union Mills. I've been over a gate at Union Mills on a 600. We don't want to do that again. Nice and steady. Over the bump and get on the gas early, because you're going so fast for so long now. Into the sun. Coming up towards Glenvine now, probably one of the most daunting corners on the circuit, because you're going so fast. Coming up towards Glenvine, you've just got to sort of stamp a gear out and pitch it in and get the gas back on. The bumps down here, I hope with this camera being mounted on the crash helmet, I hope you can see how much the bike's moving around and how much you're trying to compensate for it with your body. But a lot of the circuit now, including the part we're on at the moment, has been resurfaced. It really is quite smooth. Coming up towards Greba Castle. The idea is to try and get some acceleration, get some gas back on through the left and down towards the left at the bottom of the hill. Work hard at the first left and then make the right there nice and easy, and then straight line it through to Appledene. Hard work Appledene the 750, because it takes some shifting around. Greba Bridge. And off we go towards Hawthorns, which is a flat out right-hander. There we go. And another right-hander, which the road bleeds wet through the road, through the surface. So until you actually get there, especially on the first lap of any session, you don't know how bad it's going to be. We caught here Pete Beale. See if we can get past him. Ballarspur. There's not much room for overtaking through Ballarspur now, down really till we get to Glenhelen, because it's all rights and lefts, and you've got to be so careful because there's no room for error. So everybody has to have as much room as you can give them, and as much room as they'll give you. Away goes Pete, past Jim Moody on the production bike. We might just get him here. Yep, there we go. Nice one. You've got to be careful here at Sarah's because it tightens up on itself and you find yourself running out of road. I think as Pete just found out there. And the idea now at Greg Willie's Hill is not to shut off, because if you shut off, believe it or not, you're pulling uphill. It's so steep that if you back the throttle off at all, then you just lose so much speed at the end of Crampy Valley. Oh my goodness. I was lining up Pete to get past him there, and my bike decided to throw a fit. So you've got to work hard at catching him up again now. Coming down to the 11th. The first couple of times I came out, I always struggled with the 11th milestone, but seems to have it sorted now. Catching him up again now. He's nearly as wide as me, Pete, so he's hard to get past. Might just get him at the top of Big Arrow. Maybe. Doesn't look like it, not from here. Maybe in the bottom. There we go. Much faster through the top of Big Arrow. Cheers, Pete. Big wobbles now. Yo. And up towards the 13th. Very bumpy here going into the 13th milestone. Chucked all over the place. And it's so fast. If you drove around on open roads, you don't realise how fast you're actually travelling through some of these sections. Very hard to find a brake mark at the Douglas Road corner. There's nothing sort of, I've never been able to find anything to say right brake here. It just seems to be how it looks when you're approaching it. Down through Kirk Michael. You get a sense of devilment going through Kirk Michael because of the houses. You feel like you oughtn't to be doing these speeds through a built-up area. Now down to Rencoul. I like Rencoul. It's good. Big wheelie going in. Oh. Flick it right, then left and get the bike upright. A big wheelie on the way out. There you go. Didn't get much of a good effect there. Up through Bishop's Court. This is where the fast lap times come from. In the place of Bishop's Court, like to Bishop's Court, because you can see no more than perhaps 100 yards because the road disappears around a bank or around a hedge. But you know it's absolutely flat out, and it's so difficult. Your brain is telling you to go flat out. No, your heart is telling you to go flat out, but your brain is telling you to shut the throttle. Very difficult. Leaping up below. Try not to leap too much, because my way of thinking is if your back wheels are not on the floor, it's not propelling you forwards. That's Gwen in the white coat. There she is. Now Ballacraine corner. The most frightening thing about Ballacraine corner is that Ballacraine leap is just after it, and there it is. Oh, now that's in my mouth. Now towards Quarry Bends. Quarry Bends is nice because it's so fast and the road just opens up in front of you, and it's a good feeling to get it something like right. I'm not saying I've ever got it right, but it's something near. That wasn't too bad. What I do here, going out onto Sulby, is try to stay on the left hand side of the road to save crossing the crown of the road. Because if you cross the crown of the road on a Kawasaki, which is what I'm on a 750 Kawasaki, then it tends to tie itself in knots crossing the crown of the road. That's Peter Barnett, Sandra Barnett's husband, on his Fireblade, on his production bike. through Ginger Hole, and off the lovely smooth surface, resurface at Ginger Hole, and then it goes back to the bumpiest surface you've ever been on. It's almost like a farm track through Kerramore, then hug the bank and the wall right the way around, and then a bit of a leap here on the way out. There we go, and out to Glenduff. Still on the bumpy surface. This is one of the bumpiest parts of the circuit. Is out towards Glentram now. There's Sandra Barnett in front of us. She must have been circulating with the husband. She might be teaching him a few fast lines. She's a bit quicker than Peter, is Sandra. Careful here because the curb sticks out on you. There we go. Not to worry. Looks like Sandra's struggling with the handling of her fire blade. There we go, Milltown. And the leap at Milltown. And away we go into Ramsey. Too close to the curb for my liking, but that's the price you pay for passing somebody on the way into a corner. The schoolhouse now is lovely and smooth. They've really made a nice job of that, but it's hard to find out how fast you can really go. You need a few more laps around there yet, I think, or I do. Darling Square. Mail tightens up on itself and you can end up on the pavement. Which is not much good. Then Whitegate's here, ever so bumpy. The bike leaps around and you can end up running out of road there very easily. And up towards Ramsey Hairpin now. Kawasaki's struggle. The 750 Kawasaki struggle at very slow corners like the Ramsey Hairpin. Very, very fast, but they don't like pulling out of slow corners. And up towards the waterworks, another one where you flick through and your heart's in your mouth. You have to steady up now for the next part of the waterworks, which is first gear. Tower vans. Always plenty of people watching at the gooseneck. Always. This is early in practice and there's quite a few watching there. The sun in our eyes again as we're going up the mountain. A couple of flat outs, or I like to think they're flat out, though I think they did just shut off a bit there. Left-handers, and then up towards the 26 milestone, which is the right-hander, which throws you out towards the side of the road into that lay-by. I'm sure it frightens the riders more than it frightens the spectators, so it certainly frightens me. Yellow flags there. Oh, Marshall, oil down. Somebody's put an extra hazard in for us. There wasn't enough hazards there already. Very important now to get this bridge onto the Mountain Mile fast, because you need to carry as much speed as you can up the Mountain Mile, because now you're sort of really travelling. Around by the wind a lot there. Hope that with the camera being where it is, you get some sensation of how much you do actually get knocked about. The mountain box, So I'm peeling into there really, really late. You're going to drive off the edge of the mountain. It just gives you room on the way out. And that's the essence of racing at TT, is slow into the corners and fast out. Always feel like I should go faster. I feel like I should have gone a lot faster there. Around the veranda. 4 corners. Don't miscount them because people haven't sailed off the edge. Towards the bungalow now. Across the railway tracks. And then away we go up Halewood Heights towards Brandywell. Very difficult, Brandywell. Always feel like you should have gone quicker. Yeah, I should have gone quicker there because poor Lunch just blitzed me. Nothing like somebody making a complete fool of you to wake you up. 30-second milestone there. Sometimes it's ever so difficult to turn into Windy Corner because the wind, obviously it's not called Windy Corner for nothing, and the wind blows across so strong it's ever so difficult to actually steer your bike into the corner, to lean your bike over because the wind is trying to hold you upright. The 33rd milestone. Sensation of speed now as you cut back in for the second part of the 33rd milestone. You come out towards the bank. The sensation of speed is quite phenomenal, really. Then Keppelgate. And down towards Kate's. And if there's been any rain, there's always a damp patch in the middle of the road coming into Kate's. And although you'd like to go through full throttle, it's quite difficult to do for fear of sliding into a bank. Go to Brandish, have a look behind me there. Run down to Brandish. Some people say it's the fastest part of the circuit. I don't think it is. I still think the fastest part of the circuit is down past the Wagon and Horses, after Crosby, and down towards Creeper Castle. Brandish Corner, and down towards Hilbury. Hilbury is another one of these corners where you're travelling so quick that when you're approaching it, the circuit only looks about 2 feet wide. Also 2 there. And out towards Crontenmona, they've done some repairs and roadworks at Crontenmona. They've made the road a bit wider. As you can see, the new surface there, and I'm not sure whether it's ready to go onto yet. I think it might need a bit of traffic and a bit of bad weather to get all the oil out of the new surface. And through Bedstead, that's deceptively fast corner, and down towards the Knock. Probably the greasiest part of the circuit, which is, and slowest, most definitely the slowest, Governor's Bridge, because the old road here is not used, except by us, silly motorcycle racers. And out onto the Glen Crutchery Road, taking a tear off because we're going through to do another lap, through the start finish, and away we go to